Everyone, today we're talking about the raising of a disciple. In Joppa, there was a disciple named Tabitha. Her life overflowed with good works and compassionate acts on behalf of those in need. About that time, though, she became so ill that she died. After they washed her body, they laid her in an upstairs room. Since Lydda was near Joppa, when the disciples heard that Peter was there, they sent 2 people to Peter. They urged, "Please come right away." And Peter went with them. Upon his arrival, he was taken to the upstairs room, and all the widows stood beside him, crying as they showed the tunics and other clothing Tabitha had made while she was alive. Peter sent everyone away out of the room and knelt and prayed. He turned to the body and said, "Tabitha, get up." She opened her eyes, saw Peter, and sat up. He gave her his hand and raised her up. Then he called God's holy people, including the widows, and presented her alive to them. So the message is clear. If you do enough good works, then God won't let you die. Tabitha was just too valuable to the cause, and so God brings her back. Well, Acts itself has already shown that it's not that simple. Stephen is still dead. And James, one of Peter's closest friends, is going to be executed in just a few chapters. And I think probably most of us know that life is not that simple. And believe me, I know. And so this inconsistency, we might call it, makes us feel like there's no point in asking. There's no point in praying or expecting healing. Right? If God is going to save anybody, it's totally random, so why should I bother praying about it at all? It takes courage and vulnerability to ask for healing, because, well, if I don't ask, then there's no chance that I'm going to be destroyed by disappointment. But is that safe, sad kind of faith really what we want? If we take the risk, like these women do when they come to Peter, they don't know what is necessarily going to happen, but they take the risk, and so they experience a resurrection. And we might too, if we can risk it. Life is not this simplistic sort of promise, but it is a source of hope. Love never dies, because God is love, and God can't die. And so when we live lives of compassion like Tabitha did, and like so many of our loved ones do, we can trust that in some ways, every time that we're choosing love, we have already overcome death, and resurrection is already working. And so we can trust that someday resurrection is what we'll all experience again.